Hi class. So if you're a beginner class, this might all be new information, or if you're an advanced class, this might be old news, but I still think it's important to take the time to reiterate this fact. I know it's very, very tempting to use Google Translate in French class, but it is not your friend. So Google Translate is your faux ami. So my advanced classes will know what a faux ami normally means. But for my new classes, a faux ami literally translates into a fake friend. Normally in French class, we refer to a faux ami as something that looks like a cognate, or in other words, a word that is very similar in French and in English, like dance and danser. So those words both mean dance in English and in French, and they sound very similar. However, the word money in English and monnaie in French, they're faux amis. They're fake friends because money, as we know, means currency like money. But money in French is specifically coins. It's like the change you would receive or the change that you have in your wallet. So, for example, if you ask somebody in French how much monnaie do you have, they're gonna pull you out coins. It's not actual money. So, uh, in a different sense, Google Translate is your fake friend, your faux ami, because it's not as helpful as you think it'll be. So, for example, I'm going to use the phrase couch potato. So, we all know what a couch potato is, somebody who's always watching too much TV. Maybe on a Saturday or Sunday, you feel like a couch potato. So, if we type that into Google Translate, couch potato, it's going to tell you a literal translation. It's going to tell you a patate de sofa. So that is really incorrect, because if you told somebody you're a patate de sofa in French, they're going to think that you're a couch made of potatoes, because that idiomatic phrase is not the same. However, if we use an online dictionary, my personal favorite is Word Reference, and that's what I will encourage you all to use. And we type in couch potato. It comes up with a more idiomatic expression. So I prefer this, accro de la télé. It literally means like a TV addict. So it's a much better translation, and you're not going to call yourself a potato made of couches or a couch made of potatoes. So obviously it's a lot better. And to make this very, very explicit and clear, using Google Translate is cheating, and it won't be tolerated in my class, and I can tell when it's been used. Oftentimes, Google Translate and other similar online translators, they make mistakes that don't make any logical sense. You can, oftentimes when my students make mistakes, I can see the logic in which they used, but I can also see when it's obviously just a computer that made the error because it's something illogical. So to give you a better example of this, I'm actually going to tell you a story about when I lived in France and helped teach English. So oftentimes in French, if you are writing the negative, like to say I don't have money, like this phrase, you say n'ai pas. That negates the sentence to make it I don't have money. But in casual French, they often leave out the N. So a student had put a similar sentence to this into Google Translate. J'ai pas d'argent. But because this word pas, it does mean not when it has the ne with it. That is used to create negation. But this word pas can also mean footsteps or just steps. So in the middle of her sentence, she had the word step in her sentence. And so this is what I mean by those kinds of illogical things that'll just appear in sentences and that are really a big tip-off that you've been using Google Translate. So with this particular student, I looked at her work and I looked at her and I said, "You use Google Translate, right?" And she was so shocked. She was shook. So French students try to use it, doesn't work for them. it won't work for you either. And as I said explicitly, it is cheating. It won't be tolerated. This is because when you type things into Google Translate, it'd be like if, a 6-year-old was using a calculator for his simple addition homework. You just really don't learn anything. It's not helpful. It gives you inaccurate and incorrect answers. And you're letting a machine do all the work. It's like if you were using a calculator in math class on assignments that you're not allowed to use a calculator on. It just is blatantly cheating. I can't make that clear enough. And I will not tolerate the use of it. You will receive a 0 on work that you use Google Translate for. So, I'm going to show you the way I would like you guys to use word reference in my class. So, say you wanted to say, I'm excited today. So, word reference can be tricky because it will give you several different definitions or several different synonyms for the same word. So, excited is a really good example because it has enthousiaste, surexcité, tout excité, impatient à faire quelque chose. All of these different synonyms and different definitions of this word that has come up with. So when you use word reference, what I would like you to do, so say I wanted to use enthusiaste, I would say je suis enthousiaste. And what I want you to do is, even if you're writing instead of typing, I want you to put a parentheses and WR after this. So that makes me know that you used word reference. It shows me that you're using a good tool. And it also helps me know that, okay, if you meant more like nervous excited, and you probably wanted something more like je suis nerveuse, it helps me know that maybe we need to work on how to pick the right words from word reference. And also, if I see that you have a word that clearly I've not taught to you that seems to come out of nowhere, if I see you got it from word reference, then I know you don't use Google Translate, and it's a way to make it very explicit that you have not cheated and used Google Translate or a similar online translator, and you have used an acceptable online dictionary instead. So, in summary, Google Translate is not helpful. It will give you wrong answers, I promise you. And I promise you, I can almost always tell because the computer makes the same illogical answers repetitively. And using it is cheating. It will not be tolerated. It is 100% cheating and is against the honor code. So, use word reference and cite it when you use it. As we discussed right here, you just put a parentheses WR. I hope this has been really helpful. If there are any other questions about using online dictionaries or online translators, please let me know.